This, y'all, this is why. This is why. This is why. Cause what? 3 carts full, y'all. Let me pass your receipt. This joint said, y'all, they didn't even buy it. And that's what making me even more mad. And everything won't even rung up yet, y'all. $1,013. This is why. This is why I be mad at work. This is why I don't want to work on the 1st, or the 2nd, or the 3rd, or the 4th.
Welcome to The Wall. Today we'll take a look at the reaction of those who have made food stamps their way of life. People who've been living off the government for years are now furious because the free money stopped due to the federal shutdown. And of course, when the subsidies run out, instead of looking for a job, they get outraged. Welcome to the country where laziness has rights. Help us reach 170,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Give the video a like and share your thoughts in the comments. We always highlight the best one. And endless thanks to the fans who watch our videos every day. Let's get started.
My kids have not eaten 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Trump done cut them food stamps off.
If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have 2, don't go having another one. If you have 1, don't go having 2 more.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the stamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
It's been day 5, and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok, and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you're watching a video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you.
You know, people are out here scrambling, asking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Take your butt to work.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
People like this are the ones that make me the angriest. We're talking about 42 million people receiving food stamps. Now, with the government shutdown, they won't be getting money for their benefits. You know what that means? That 42 million people will have to get off their butts and start working like everyone else. To me, that's poetic justice. Look at the shopping carts those people had in the intro. Do you know how many hours you have to work to put that kind of food on the table? These people get it for free. We live in a time when people have no shame. This used to be kept private, but now it's something to brag about, especially single mothers who leave their husbands just to qualify for this kind of assistance. Did you know these food stamps have destroyed countless marriages in this country? Women who walked away from stability just to live off the government and collect all the benefits. The worst part is that they turn into parasites of the system because it's not like they stay on it for a short while, it's years. And what's most infuriating is that these people feel entitled to your money. Damn.
So guess what I'm doing for the first time in 12 years? Okay. I am getting up. I'm ready. Did my hair, took my shower, brushed my teeth, and I'm going to do my community service hours. Why community service hours, do you ask? Because they told me in order to keep my food stamps, I would have to do 15 hours of community service per week. That's at minimum. I can do more if I want to, which I probably will because I don't have anything else going on. And my kids are in daycare since I qualified for subsidized childcare. So I'm going to do my 15 hours or more. I haven't decided yet. It depends on how I like it at the place where I'm volunteering. But anyways, this is just until I get an actual full-time job because they don't just let you stay in community service for as long as you want. You have to find employment or go to school. So
if the government doesn't reopen by November, EBT will not reopen either. So nobody is getting no EBT, no help, no Medicaid, no nothing. And the government knows that. And so many people right now are in a panic, as they should be, because people have children. People need Medicaid. Older people need Medicaid too. y'all having the shutdown because y'all don't want to come to a decision. Y'all don't want to do what y'all got to do. And November might be a very horrible and kind of semi-violent month because the government is not understanding that this is crucial. Like, people will not have food. People will not have medicine. People will not have the things that they need for their kids or for their for the people that they love who are older. And everybody's sitting here. I'm already seeing the videos talking about, like, if you see me starting to rob this place, mind your business. And I see a lot of other people who say, like, you know what, I'm just gonna like turn a blind eye. And it's getting to the point where everybody needs to understand that instead of judging and instead of sitting up here talking about, oh my God, just get a job, just get this, just get that. Okay, food stamps, have your opinion about it, don't care. But Medicaid, people who are actually older use food stamps. People who are older need Medicaid. And y'all, some heartless ass people sitting up here talking about, oh, well, you should have got a job. You should have done this, blah, 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 whatever y'all got to say. The government shutting down is affecting a lot of people right now. And especially the people for the month of November who is not going to get food. I've seen people on here talk about where they got a letter from the government or something like that talking about that their food stamps will not come in. Their Medicaid will not come in. It just won't. And that's it. So if the government doesn't come to a decision and reopen before November, nobody is getting what they need.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
For the first time in 15 years, that woman finally got off the couch to go to work. Just for that, Trump deserves an award. We actually made a freeloader do something to earn her food. As far as I'm concerned, people who receive food stamps should work at least 40 hours a week. If they don't, they shouldn't get a dime. I have no problem helping the elderly or veterans. They've earned it. But everyone else who's able to work needs to get off the couch. This country was built through hard work, not government checks. Today, working people are punished with taxes to support freeloaders pushing carts full of free food and brand new cell phones. If you were lazy, you lived like one. Taxes aren't being used for the good of everyone. Like infrastructure. No, now they're used to hand out money to people sitting at home, perfectly capable of working. But the man in the next video says it even better.
So this is going to piss some people off, and I don't care. So people are getting on the internet now, and they're starting to complain about how they're going to be cutting food stamps off in November. And message has been sent. It is happening. And the reason why this upsets me so much is because you have people like myself, and I'm sure there's plenty more out there right now that are looking back at me that have worked their whole lives and have struggled their entire lives just to make ends meet. And they went to apply for food stamps. And because they think you make too much money, you never received any help whatsoever. And if you did, they gave you enough money for a gallon of milk a month. And then you have people that go out here and have unfathered children. And because they have unfathered children, they get free housing, they get free food, they get money from the government that this father now has to pay back, or he is going to sit in jail. But yet now they're going to start saying they're going to start robbing, looting, stealing. And this is coming from, it's obvious they're in public housing already, but they have nice nails. They have nice clothes. They have the PlayStations, all the good gimmicks and whatnots, bells and whistles, while you got people like me and some people like you watching me right now that struggle just to eat day to day. And because now they're taking your free money, you're going to band together. You're going to break laws. What about the middleman that has never had a hand up? What about him? He's just expected to sit here quietly, watch while everybody that was handed everything acts a donkey now that it's getting took the fuck away. Yet we're sitting here like, oh, wow. I guess you get to know how it feels to be told, fuck you, just because you make 100 extra more dollars. Dude, it's so fucking crazy. Do what you want. Catch charges. There's so many ways you can feed your families. So many ways.
Totally. You know how the food stamp thing would be fair? If people were rotated every 2 years, you'd be given assistance coupons for 2 years, month after month. But as soon as that period ended, you'd be kicked out of the system and couldn't get back in for 10 years. That would actually help because there would be a sense of urgency to save that money, to get ahead. But people who've been in the system for more than 10 years don't plan to leave. To stay in it, they keep having kids. You see them making nice purchases, driving good vehicles, always as fat as can be, because people who don't work get fat from not moving their butts. Well, that's over. If they go out in the street making trouble, they'll end up in jail, because those people think about everything bad except working. Working doesn't even enter their heads.
So y'all telling me because y'all can't get along, now there's mothers and fathers and children out there that ain't getting their link cards so they can't eat. And I don't even want to hear you uppity people say, oh, go get a job. Well, go get this. Well, maybe you shouldn't live on state aid. Do you realize they now put a letter in with your Medicaid and your link? Oh, you need to have a job. And then those people are going out and getting a job, and then they're getting their link taken from them. So then the little bit of extra money they had is now going on their rent or paying for food. So now they can't put their kid through soccer. They can't get that extra car to make sure their kid gets to soccer. Or they don't have that extra $500 something because y'all took their link card away, and that $500 could have went towards their kid's tuition. Like, y'all rich people think that we're just living off the state to live off the state. Nah. Some people are because they're lazy. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, I know in this very building I live in, there are women striving for greatness. And they went out and did what they had to do. And y'all took their Section 8. Y'all took everything from them that was keeping them afloat. I'm not putting their business out there, but that's bullshit. And then I went on Facebook today. Somebody that I see hustle. They're always doing hair. They're always braiding. They're always doing what they got to do. They don't got their food to feed their kids. And she has multiple kids. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, she's lazy. She's on state funding. No, that woman works every single day and her account is 0 and she can't fill her house with food. That's wrong. I don't care. The rich could change a lot in this world, and y'all just keep it in your bank accounts to die with a bunch of money. And I'm sorry, but if I was rich and I came up on a lot of money or I won the lottery, the first thing I'm going to do is make a nonprofit for 304s to actually have a place to lay their head instead of having to worry about where they're going to sleep at night. That's what I would do with my money. And then I would donate to our country, not to another country, to our country. Personally, I would take my money and I would bring it to the homeless people. I'd be like, you want to get out? You want to get out this lifestyle? Come on. And then I would have a house for homeless people where you would have to go through certain things. Like, I just don't understand how the government is so against us little guys. And then the little guys that are actually striving for greatness are the ones that suffer. But the rich still sit on their high horses and they don't suffer because what? Half the rich people are corrupt. But the ones that get rich, that came from nothing, are the ones that are trying to make a change. I'm just rambling because I'm pissed, but that's all I got to say today.
I love listening to people like this. They always have great social ideas, just never with their own money. Typical of socialists. Their idea is that the rich should pay more taxes. But lady, it's not the millionaires paying for your food stamps. It's the middle class, the ones watching a big chunk of their taxes, which should be going to infrastructure and better services, get spent on supporting and fixing the problems of 42 million people who should be out working. The rich pay their taxes, they pay more than most. But it's your government that's buried this country under social programs. If you look at China, which is basically a communist country, you'll see they have fewer welfare programs than we do. We, being a capitalist nation, have more social programs than they do. And what do they do with their money? They invest in roads, energy, and jobs. Here, the money goes to endless subsidies. It's spent keeping freeloaders afloat. That man in the video said it best. What do you say to millions of people who should be working, who see their lives getting worse every day and public services deteriorating, all because the money is being used to support freeloaders and their kids, who, in the end, end up in the same programs?
So it has now been confirmed that food stamps will not be continuing into November with the government shutdown continuing, which means that millions and millions of people who rely on food stamps for food for themselves, their families, their children will now be going without. And while I can never tell other people exactly what to do, how to feel, or what to say, I can say that I am blind, deaf.
Now, what I'm about to say is definitely going to ruffle some feathers, but let your feathers be ruffled. If the shoe fits, the shoe just goddamn fits. When it comes to government assistance, whether it's SNAP benefits, WIC, HUD, income-based apartments, Medicaid, all of that government assistance stuff, if you need it, that's what it's there for. It's there for you to get you to where you want to be. It's there for you. If you have a job, get a better job. Go to school. You don't have nobody to watch your kids. That's what it's for. It's for mothers and people and elderly people to get back on their feet. With that being said, once you receive those government services, that doesn't mean you just live on it for the rest of your days here on this earth. There are so many people who need those type of assistances that can't get it because the people who got it 20 something years ago, 5+ years ago, are still on it. And this is coming from a Black woman. This is coming from a woman who had those type of government services. You're supposed to be, if you're not working, you're supposed to be in school so you can get a better job and get you and your children a better place to go. You're supposed to be receiving those SNAP benefits because you can't afford to put groceries in your house. So you should be doing things in your life to better your situation so that you will never need those things again, and it can go to somebody who's in the shoes that you were in and trying to get better. Income-based houses, receiving SNAP benefits, all of those, you should only be able to keep those benefits if you're working. Either if you're working, if you're in school, if you're disabled, or if you're elderly, or if your child is disabled, or if you're elderly. But I feel like in order to keep those benefits, you have to work or go to school.
The truth is, that was the whole idea in the first place. Food stamps were supposed to be a step toward improving your quality of life and eventually leaving them behind. But today, it's become a source of pride, even an identity for many. We're talking about 42 million people. That's the entire population of California, even more than all the people in New York or Texas, being supported by the system. If those people worked, if they actually produced, imagine what this country could do with those taxes. Better roads, cheaper energy, decent schools, better public transportation, real support for veterans and farmers. But no, the money ends up in overflowing grocery bags, while the ones who work can barely make it to the end of the month. And the worst part is, they do it with arrogance, as if the government owed them something. When they don't get their checks, they go out to protest, destroy cities, and scream social justice. No, brother, that's not justice. That's abuse of the system. As far as I'm concerned, let the government stay shut down. Plenty of people have lived their whole lives without getting a single cent, so we know nobody's going to die from having to work. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Do you think the food stamp program is fair or unfair? Do you think food stamps should be eliminated? And if not, why? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.